In this video, we're going to talk about backgrounds in Oxygen Builder. Hi, my name is Stratos and I'm constantly producing video tutorials about WordPress. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Backgrounds can be images or can be colors or can be videos, and that is something that is underneath an element. It usually is at the bottom of an element, and we use it just to make our style better and more beautiful to the eyes. There are some things that you should avoid, and keep in mind that the background is there to keep this style and make it a little bit better. It's not there to distract us for the main purpose. So if you have a hero section is the section that we put on the top of the page, and usually we have some buttons, and we try to make the visitor to push the buttons, and that's usually the hero section. And if we add the background there is to make that hero section better. We're not trying to distract the visitor, and we want the visitor to read the text and click the buttons. If the background is something that will grab the attention of the visitor, maybe he will miss the buttons and he will go in another website, or he will continue reading without actually try to understand what we're trying to push to him. So we need the background again to make the things better but not overlapping our content. This is something that I did as a mistake when I start building websites. I tried to add a better background and vivid colors, and yeah, it was a nice website, but the text in front of it was not something that a visitor would see, and in most cases he would miss and go on. Let's open a new section. We're going to add a new section. Let's add a new section. This is a black section, and I'm going to put that on top. Okay. And let's go on top, and here is the section that I have. So if I go now to advanced, and if I go to background, and here I have the settings for the background. I think if you see it at first, it might be a little bit overwhelming, but we're going to explain everything that you may need, and you can just follow along, and you will see that it's pretty straight, simple, and you can understand very easily how to work with. So first we have the background color. Pretty easy. You can click here and add a global color, or this is something that was added with the library that I have added. We're going to see later on about the libraries. And you can choose the color that you want. You can put here the HTML code. You can put the RGB code if you have any, or you can set the global color from here. This slider here is if we want to put a transparency level. We're going to see later on what is the transparency. So we're going to put that in 100%, and we're going to choose a color. Now keep in mind that the section has already a padding. So if we go into the advanced and then sizing and spacing, we have padding 75 and 75. And with that padding, we can see how it looks in the front end. So if I go here and go into, sorry, not the admin, the front end, I'm going to visit the page and see how it looks in the front end. So this is how the visitor will see it. This is the color that I have put. But if I add inside here a div and go inside the div, go into advanced background and go and put a background color for that div. Let's go for a black. You can see right here, but as we have said, the div doesn't have any height or width. So if I go into the front end and refresh the page, you will not see anything inside here. If I add an element inside here, or if I go into the advanced sizing and spacing and put a little bit of padding here, let's say 20, you will not see anything different here because this is a 75 pixel box. I'm going to save that and see how it looks in the front end. And now I will see a black box in here. Okay, I cannot see it because it doesn't have any width. It does have height but not width. So I have to put here also a padding of 20 here. Save and refresh the page here to see the box right here. So we have 20 height and 20 width from the padding. Okay, let's remove those and remove that also. So now that we have added the red color, I can easily add a text, and this, as you can see, it's a black text, but I can do it white, and I will have some contrast. Always go for a nice contrast so you will have the text to be visible as more as possible. So people with problems that they may have visual problems and they cannot read easily, they will be able to read your text. This is something that you want for everyone to read your text. So we can make the layout better, but also we must have some contrast for the text to be visible. Not only the text, every element that we add inside here. We cannot add a button that it's also red because it will not be visible. Of course, we can do a button that has red background and white text in order to keep it a little bit more stylish, like a white border, and it will only have the border and the text. But if you add there a white button, it will be better for the eye to see it. Okay, let's continue. So the first, as you can see, it's the background color. Let's go here. What was the text? Advanced, and you're going to see here the background. Also, we have that in primary because Oxygen put that in the primary for us to do it quicker. So let's go to advanced background, and again, here is the background color. I'm going to delete that, and here I have the background image. Here I can click browse or data, and I can select the background image that I want. The data, we're going to see it in many places, and this is dynamic data, which means that you're not going to specify which image you want. You're going to specify something, and it will grab automatically the image that meets those conditions that we have. So if we put that in a post, we're going to use it as a featured image, and every time it will be a different image, and it will grab the image by the dynamic condition that we have selected. We're going to see it later on. For now, we're going to hit the browse, and here we're going to see that we have some images, and I can go here and select that. And as you can see, it has some width, as it says here, 1280 pixels. And this is the height, 853 pixels. I'm going to select to add the image, this alternate text and title. I'm going to do those later on. So select the image, and this will add the image inside here. I can go now and save and refresh the page in the front end and see how it looks. Of course, this is not a contrast that I want. As you can see, it's a white color here with the blue, and the white text is not something that it's very easily to view. Also, the image is cropping here, and it's repeating itself, and we're going to see later on how we can fix that. So this is how you add the image. Basically, this will add by you hitting the browse button here. It will add the URL of the image right here. So if I go and click browse and click the image that I have selected, you can see down here that says file URL. If I was going to copy that URL and paste it inside the space here that I have here, it will do the same thing. Also, this means that you can grab a URL from another website that has an image. Let's say that we're going into Google and we're going into somewhere and it has an image. I can grab the URL of the image and I can put it here. Of course, it's not ideal because we have two problems. The first is that I don't have any knowledge if the owner of the image allows me to use the image. So I don't want to be sued, and I don't want anyone to come and ask me how did I get that image with no permission. And the second is, if you add here a URL that's outside your website and do it by URL, you may have a problem if you will have a problem if the owner of the website or the picture deletes that. You will have a blank space inside here. You will not have anything to show. So as you can see, this is the background image. Now here is the image overlay color, and this means that it will add another color that will overlap the image, and it will give a nice background for my text. So as you can see now, the text is not clearly visible because we have a little bit of light in the background and we have white text. I could go and make my text black, or I could go and add an image overlay color. We're going to do the second one. We're going to take an image overlay color. So I'm going to click here, and since I have a white text, I'm going to use the black color. Now, as you can see, since I have selected the black color, it overlaps the content of the background and I can no longer see the image. So what I want is make the color a little bit of transparency, so the image will break through the color. And as you can see, now I have a little bit of darkened image. Here is the darker image, and I can see the colors and the text clearly. So if I go here and refresh the page, I can see now that this is a little bit of darker, and I can read the text easier. As you can see now, the HTML code was configured to RGB, and this is the black color with 59 transparency. 0.59 is 50% or 0.5 transparency. You can go and put here 5, which means 50% transparency. If we go all the way down to 0, it means that there is now no black color. You can see the image as it was without the overlay color. And if you go to 100%, this means that it will overlap the image 100% and you will not be able to see it. I'm going to remove that in order to view the image clearly. Let's save that and go back and refresh the page to see the difference. Every time you add text, you need to have, again, I'm telling that because it's crucial, you need to have something like a contrast in order to the text to be easy to read. Okay, then we have the background size, which is auto, cover, contain, or manually. Now, this I would like to be every time into the cover, and this means that the image will cover the box no matter how the dimension of the image or the box are. It will cover 100% the box, so the image will be zoomed in or zoomed out in order to cover the whole box. We're going to see the difference between contain and cover. So once I hit cover, it will stretch the image because the image, as you can see, stops here, so it will stretch it 100% until here, and it will cover the whole box. Let's save that and refresh the page. And as you can see now, the image is stretched. There is no overlapping with another image or reappearing the image itself here. If we go to the contain, this means that the image will be 100% viewable, and it doesn't matter if it's smaller than the box itself, it will be 100% viewable here. So let's save that and see how it looks in the front end. And you can see this is the whole image, and of course there is a repeating here layout, here repeater style, because it doesn't want to put that with the blank layout, and we can of course edit that. So you can see 100% the image right here. So that's the main difference between cover and contain. Now here is a repeat background, and if I go to no repeat, it means that it will only show one image. So if I save and refresh the page, it will show me the image. Of course, the text is there, but it's not viewable because we have a white background with a white text, as you can see here. So this means that in most cases you will need the cover, not the contain, and you will put it, it doesn't matter if you put it no repeat or repeat. The repeat element is here because in there are cases that you will need to add a background with something like curly or like layout. I'm going to show you what I mean, and you're going to put repeat and it will go into the full width. So let's go and search into the Pixabay, which are free photos. Okay, and we're going for a pattern, background pattern. So let's say that we have something like that or that. Let's say that we have something like this. As you can see, this is a pattern, so we have something like a cloth, and I can download that for free. And I'm going for the less image here. As you can see, it's 166 kilobytes, and I'm going to click download. Okay, I'm going to click to save, and I'm going to save it somewhere. Okay, and now I can close that. I can go back to my style, and I can select here to browse. Now here, of course, I have the media library, but I also have the upload files. If you haven't used WordPress, this is how you upload files, and I can go and grab my image, and I can select here the file or drag and drop it and leave it here. Okay, the drag and drop is not working because my mouse has a little bit of problem, as I think. Okay. So drag and drop, and this is the pattern here. Remember that this is small image. So okay, this was something like a habit, and I just copied the text. And as you can see now, I have the pattern here. Let's save that and see how it looks in the front end. And this is how it looks. So if I go and put here the repeat, it will repeat the pattern everywhere, and it will continue in the whole website. Okay, let's save that and refresh. It didn't save. Okay, now it's saved, and refresh. Okay, and as you can see, I have the same pattern everywhere. Now, it's not the best picture, as you can see, because it's different from here into here. This is light, this is dark, and it's not the ideal image, as you can see. But if it was the same light here, the white layout that we have here, across the whole picture, it will be everywhere the same. Let's see if we can download another picture. Okay, background pattern. Let's see if I do better this time. So I'm going for something like this. I think this is the same. Okay, maybe it breaks here and it's not ideal. Here it's not the same. Here, this is the same, I think. Yeah. So let's click that. Maybe it's a little bit darker here. I'm not sure. Okay, so let's try that and see if we can do that better. Okay. Save. Let's close that. Let's go here and let's go to browse, upload files, and I'm going to grab that, drop it here, and select that file. Okay, and as you can see, now that I have the repeat, you can see that it has the same style across the whole line. So before the repeat, it was something like that. And let's go to contain, no repeat. Okay, something like that. But if I select here to repeat itself, you can see how it looks. So this is how you use the repeat. The repeat X and the repeat Y are the X's, I think. The X is how they are. I'm not sure about the word. So if you remember your math, you can see that the Y is the height and the X is the width. So it repeats itself no matter how many times you want in the width. And this is repeater only in the height and not the width. Then we have the scroll and the fix. In order to see that better, we have to use an image like that. So we're going here in advanced. Let's go into the background, and here we can see that we have the scroll. Scroll means that when you scroll the image, when we scroll the website, the page, the image will scroll with the page. If I put it in fixed, it means that the image will stay fixed, and we're going to scroll the website across over the image, so the image will stay the same. It's something that it's nice to see, but you will not do it in every single picture because it doesn't look the same. Also remember that if the image has different lights, so here we have a darker image and in the bottom we have a light image, then the text will not be viewable across the whole image when you scroll it. So here you will be able to read it, but on top, if it was lighter, you wouldn't. So that was with the fixed. Now remember that you don't have to put every time the black or the white color. As you can see, this is something like a blue color overlay, and this is how they used it. Also, they have a background color here, and this you could just delete it because you have the background image to overlap the color. Next, we have the left and the top, and this is the focal point. What we mean by focal point is that we want to show something from the image, and this something should be viewable no matter what size of the screen you are. So even if you came from a mobile, I have to show you the teeth here from the lady because I want to show you that someone is working in her teeth. So I want to put that as a focal point. This is somewhere at the middle, so we have 50 and 50% for the focal point. That means that if we put here 10% and 10%, the focal point will be from the left here 10% of the image and 10% from the top. So it will be something like here. So if you are going to save that, let's save that and go and refresh the page and come around here and do a little bit of shrinking. You will see that it shrinks. Okay, lost the image, it shrinks, and the thing that is always visible will be this here, this dot here. It's not a dot, but this is the point that it's always visible. Now, if I want that to be in the head of the girl, as you can see here, I cannot see the girl. I can go and put here 50% and 50% again. So the lady will be in the middle of the page, basically, and this means that she will always be visible. Let's refresh the page around here, and we'll see now the lady. Of course, she's not visible because of the button, but it doesn't matter. And if I shrink the page here, if I shrink it here, you can see now that this is the point that I want always to be seen. Okay, remember that when you start from a blank image, here, a blank background image, this is not set to percentage. This is set to pixels. This is how it looks, pixels and pixels. But because we usually need something like 50% in order to put that in the middle, we usually change that into percentage and put that 50 and 50 to go straight in the middle. Okay, this would require some work in order to play with the settings, and you can see what you want to show. The background clip and the background blend mode are more experienced for more experienced users, so we're not going to show it right now. Also, the blend mode is something awesome, and you should someday use it to see how it looks. But we're going straight for the video background URL. This means that it needs an MP4 or a WebM file in order to play something that is a video, and this should come from your own website, not a URL from the YouTube or Vimeo or somewhere else, except if you have somewhere that you are hosting the MP4 files and you can share that MP4 URL. If you have one, you can select the browse and select that to upload to your website, and then use it from the media library and click that, and it will start to play. Now remember that if you are using a video background from your own web server, your own server, it will make that a little bit slower, so the website will load slower. It's better to have it from a URL like YouTube or something else. This is something that it's done with the custom code. It's not something that you can do that here, but it doesn't matter. After that, we have the hide video below, so you can hide if you are coming from a mobile phone or a tablet, and that way it will be faster for the mobile viewers. After that, we have the video overlay, which means that you will have a color for the video and it will overlay the video itself. And basically it's the same like the image overlay color that we add, and you can set here the color and of course the percentage of the transparency. Okay, after that, let's delete that. We have the gradient color. The gradient color means that you can combine two colors or three colors or how many you want to create a gradient effect. I'm going here into the section, I'm going into the background, I'm going to remove the image, I'm going to remove the contain or the repeat, doesn't matter anymore, and I'm going for a color here, but let's start with the gradient first. And once you add the once you click the gradient, you can add a color here. So I'm going to add, and I'm going to select this color, and as you can see I have that color here, and then I can add another color and select here to be this one, which is a little bit darker. So now I have two colors inside here. Maybe I should put a little bit of that to have something different so you can view how it looks. So it starts with that color and it blends in with the second one, and it ends with this color as you can see here. Okay, I don't know which colors are those. I'm not going to pronounce them, but this is how they look. Here you can put pixels or percentage or how you can want those to be affected. It's something that you need to play with that to see how it looks. And also you have the angle. So I can go for 180, and that means it will be like this with the line, and it will be like rows. If I go for 90%, it will mean that there are columns. So we have the color here and the color right here. If I go for 240, it means that will make something different. If I go for 200, it means that this will come here and the color here will be here. You can go also for pixels and you have another effect. You can play without colors, and you have also the radial, and you can start playing with that. I am not going to say anything here because every time that I'm going to use a gradient, I'm going to play that. There are also websites that you can create gradient colors and see how they look, and go and copy and paste the style around here. So this is something that you should start playing with to see the effect. And also we can add another color like a red one and create something like that, which is ridiculous and it's not nice, but you can do that if you want. Or you can do this effect and I don't know, put here 100, so I have a little bit of more this, and here put 50, so I have a little bit of less that, and you can start playing and see how they look. So that was with the background color. Remember that you can add a background color to every single element. So this was the section. I can go into the heading and I can go into advanced background and set the background color here, or the image, or everything else that we talk about. Then I can go and add another color like the text, like the rich text, the columns, divs, text link, everything that you can find here. Even the image can have a background color. Of course, it doesn't make any sense for the image to have a background color because it will overlap it every time. But if you put a little bit of padding inside the image, you will see the background color of that. So every element can have a background color. This is a CSS style, so everything that you can do, you can copy that to another element by using the classes. So that was all with the background and background colors and background images. Hope you like the video. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.